All right, welcome to lesson 3.2, measuring accuracy. And measuring accuracy is one of the things that you'll need to do with quite a few of your homeworks, the majority of your homeworks in this class. So let's look at this lesson, measuring accuracy. Students will be capable of measuring the accuracy of regex searches. Okay. So when you do a search, this is kind of general in like information sciences. When you do a search, you need to know how accurate your search is. But there are two different or even three different ways, but we'll talk about two different ways to measure accuracy. What does that mean? Precision and recall is what we'll look at here in this class, and we'll look at today. So let's look at this PowerPoint I have in the CMS called precision_recall. And it's this one here. And yeah. So these are some slides from Dr. Lonsdale. Dr. Lonsdale is a computational linguist in our department. And I like the graphic form here. So what this means is when you do a search, and you're trying to find something in a large amount of information, what you get back here is in purple with the computer icon. So the smaller circle that's in purple is what you get back from your search. And the larger green circle here that has a check in it is what you should have gotten. Okay. So precision P here is 0.55, 55%, because within the purple circle here, only about 55% or exactly 55% of that purple circle falls within the green circle. Right. And so 55% of what we got back in the search is accurate, is correct. It's what we should have gotten. So that means the precision is 55%. Once again, precision is from what you get back from the search, how many of them or what percentage of them or ratio are correct. Recall, R here, R equals 0.4. Recall is out of what you should have gotten back, how much of that did you get back? So we should have gotten all of this green circle back, but we only got this part that overlaps with the purple circle. And that's about 40% of the green circle. So our precision, or excuse me, our recall is 40% or a ratio of 0.4, because what we got back in the search only covered about 40% of what we should have gotten back from the search. And we had some false positives out here in this crescent moon part of the purple, that where the computer icon is. Okay, so let's take another example here. So once again, the purple is what we got back from our search, the tokens of the results that we got back. And the green circle is what we should have gotten back, is what we're actually searching for, like what we wanted to get back. And so we see that precision is 100%. It's a ratio of 1, meaning everything that it returned back within the purple was accurate. It actually was what we thought it would be, like we wanted it to be. It's because everything in the purple was accurate, was what we wanted. But the recall, the R equals 0.8, is only at 80% or a ratio of 0.8, because we didn't get everything that we should have gotten. There's still some stuff left in the green circle that wasn't captured by the purple circle. So that's recall. So the recall is at 80% because we missed some stuff that we should have gotten. But the precision is at 100% because everything that we did get back was correct. Okay, so once again, precision is this purple circle here. That's what we got back, and all of it falls within what we should have gotten back. That's 100%. But the recall is not 100% because we didn't get everything back that we should have gotten back. There's still some stuff left here in the green that's not in the purple circle. And then if we have a horrible search term that just doesn't return anything, so the precision is 0 because the purple circle falls completely outside of the green circle. Nothing that we got back in the search was accurate. So that's precision. And nothing that we should have gotten in the green circle was retrieved. That's 0 as well. So that's recall. Okay, so I like this kind of graphical visualization of precision and recall. Once again, precision is how much of what we got back is accurate or is correct. And then recall is how much of what we should have gotten did we actually get. Let's take a look at another PowerPoint. Let's try this here. This PowerPoint comes from Jesse Egbert, who taught this class in the past. So here's some definitions that I just said verbally. Precision is what percent of the cases labeled as X actually are X. And recall is what percent of all of the true cases of X were actually labeled X or were retrieved. Let's take an example here. Here's an example sentence. He saw that dog that I saw. Okay, so looking at that, we're going to focus our attention on that, the word that. So in the noun phrase, that dog, that is a determiner, which is a technical term in linguistics to identify words that act like words that determine nouns, right? And so that is technically a demonstrative adjective on this noun dog. So that's a determiner. Whereas the second that in this sentence is a relativizer. It's a relative pronoun, a relativizer that talks about which dog I saw. So he saw that dog, determiner, that I saw, relativizer. Okay, so what we're gonna do is just go through this. If both that's are tagged as determiners, so both of them got tagged as determiners. So that one's correct, that one's not. What would be the precision recall for determiners? And what would be the precision recall for relativizers? Let's just start with determiners. Okay, so what is the precision recall if both were tagged as determiners? And once again, I have a DET here to identify this is a determiner, that is a determiner. And I have REL here next to that to identify it as a relativizer. Let's just jump all the way down. So if we do that, we see that if we get two results back and they both say determiner, but only one of those two actually was a determiner, our precision would be 50%, because 50% of what we got back was correct, because we got two results back, but only one of them actually was a determiner, right? The other was a relativizer. The recall, if both are tagged as determiners, right, would be 100%, because the one determiner, this one right here, was retrieved. It was grabbed by the search. So the recall is 100%, right? Relativizers, well, we didn't get any relativizers back, so it doesn't make sense to think about precision for relativizers because the system tagged both as determiners. None were tagged as relativizers. And the recall for relativizers is 0 because there is one relativizer and it was not grabbed. So the recall is 0. It was not retrieved. Okay. So that's a quick rundown of precision and recall in measuring accuracy of searches. So let's try and apply this to what we saw in the last lesson, in lesson 3.1. It says calculate the precision and recall of the first regex in the formative quiz in the previous lesson for finding word final S. And we want it to represent third person singular S of present tense verbs in English. Okay, just a little linguistic lesson, refresher, or a lesson. Verbs in English, present tense verbs in English often have an S in third person singular form. So for example, I walk does not have an S because it's a first person singular, I. You, singular, walk, right, is second person singular, does not have an S. But if I say he walks every day to class, it has an S on the end of that verb, walks. She walks as well as third person singular. The other persons don't. First person plural, we walk, does not. Second person plural, you guys or y'all walk, does not. Third person plural does not either, they walk. Anyway, so the point here is that with the third person singular present tense verbs in English, we often have an S. We always have an S in the present tense. So going back to the quiz from the previous lesson here, we had these two sentences, and here's the first regex, and that was to try and find words that end in S, right? Alphanumeric character, once again, to review regexes, alphanumeric character, one or more times, followed by an S, followed by a word boundary, meaning at the end of a word. So if we threw this regular expression at this string here, these two sentences, how many of the word final S words that have word final S, actually are third person singular verbs? We have one here is, we could call that a third person singular. It is, right? Because he is, she is, the professor, whatever. Deals with using computers is also a third person. Excuse me. So I think we only have two in here. If I'm not mistaken, this is not a verb, right? That ends in S, but it's not a verb. That's not a verb either. That's a lexical S. It's not a morphemic S. It doesn't add any additional meaning to the word. This does. That's a morphemic S. It's third person singular. That adds additional meaning, but it's a noun. It's a plural S, right? And that's a plural S. Jobs, linguist, plural S there. And that's a lexical S. Doesn't have any morphemic status. Doesn't add any additional meaning to the word. So yeah, these are only two third person singular verbal S's. So if we rerun this search here, I'm going to search for this regex within this string, these two sentences in Python. I'll jump back over to Python here. I have the string sitting right here in txt. And let me throw in the regex. I'm going to say re find all for the moment. Throw that in there. We're going to search in text. We're going to do flags equal re dot ignore case. Save that to something called results. And then we'll print those out so we can see what we're looking at. Okay, I'll run the script. Okay, so let's take a look at what we got here. We got linguistics there's one of them. Linguistics, deals, there's one, the other one, and these other ones are not. So how many results did we get? Well, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We got 8 results with that regex. Okay, we got 8 word final. We got 8 words with word final S. So 2 out of 8, because these two are correct. 2 out of 8 were correct, right? So 2 divided by 8 would be 0.25, right? If I'm not mistaken. It's a fourth, right? 2 out of 8 is a fourth of the cases that we got back are correct. Just to be very transparent and very explicit, 2 divided by 8 gives us 0.25. So our precision would be 0.25. That is 25%. Of the cases that we got back with that search were correct. So precision is 25%. Okay, let me just kind of write that right here. Precision as a comment, because it's this computer code here. Precision equals 0.25 or 25%. How about recall? So there are, once again, I'll jump back over my lesson plan right here. There are 2 verbs that have word final S, and they were both found, right? They were both retrieved by our search. So the recall is actually 100% because 2 out of 2 were found. Recall equals 1.0. That is 100% of the word final S's were retrieved. So you can see there's just trade-off between precision and recall. Sometimes some searches, it's better to have higher precision and not worry about the recall much. In other cases, it's better to have higher recall and not worry about the precision so much. Depends on the search, depends on the situation. Okay, so once again, precision is 25% because out of what we got, which were 8 results, only 2 are correct. So 2 out of 8, 25%, 0.25 precision. But the recall is 100% because of the 2 that we should have gotten, we actually got those 2. Right, is and deals were found. All right, let's try the next. I didn't ask you to pause. Maybe try this here. I want you to try this one for a few minutes by yourself. Calculate the precision recall of that same regex for finding word final S that represents a plural morpheme. Morpheme in linguistics is a part of a word that gives meaning to the word. So an S that represents plural, more than one thing of that noun. Okay, so pause the video for a few minutes and work that out, looking at, again, this sentence using the same regex, looking at word final S, these two sentences here. They're in lesson 3.1. Okay, so once again, we're working on this right here for a few minutes. Ready, set, pause. Okay, welcome back. Let's take a look. Let's just go through the text and figure out which words are plurals. So linguistics, that's not a plural, that's just a lexical S. It's just a S that's part of the singular form of that word. Linguistics is singular. That's why here linguistics is rather than linguistics are, right? So that's not one. Linguistics, again, we see the same word, not one. Computers, that S right there is indeed a plural S, right? Because there's computer and computers. Some of the best paying jobs right there is another plural S, right? And linguists, we have singular linguist, right? He's a linguist, they are linguists. So that is another plural S. So we have 3 plural S's here in these 2 sentences. If I'm not mistaken, let me just double check that assertion real quick. Okay. And this S is not, this is like a lexical S, just part of the word. Okay, so jumping back over here, looking at the 8 results that we got before, right? 3 of them, computers, jobs, and linguists, are plural S. So jumping down here, our precision is going to be 3 out of 8. So let me just use my good friend here, 3R, my good friend. So we have a precision of 37.5%. So precision is 0.375 or 35.5%, 35.5%. So what we got back, again, this is how you read precision. Of what we got back from our search, 3 out of 8 or 37.5% actually are plural S. If we had used that regex to try and find plural S, our precision would be at 37.5%. And our recall should be 100% as well, because every last one of those 3 plural S's was found, right? So there are 3 plural S's in this string, these 2 sentences, and they were found right here: computers, jobs, and linguists. So the recall is at 100%. I mean, every last one of the ones we should have found, we did find. We have a lot of other junk, like false positives, right, that we don't need. That's why the precision is so low, but the recall is high. Okay. Great. Well, so that is a quick rundown of measuring accuracy in 2 different ways: precision and recall. And it's useful to have both available. Like I said, some searches, it may be more important with some searches to have a high precision. In other searches, it may be most important to have a higher recall, just depending on the situation and what you're trying to search for, what the variable is you're looking for. Okay. So that is a quick rundown of measuring accuracy in text processing and analysis. And these 2 concepts, precision and recall, applying to other science, other information searching sciences. All right. See you next time.